I work in the office during the week when the legislature is not in session, and those days they're not in session, answering legal questions for the municipalities, the officials, and city clerks and so forth around the state. When the legislature is in session, I spend a lot of time down there attending committee meetings and keeping up with the flow of legislation.
And what's going on.
And so forth.
Okay.
A Montgomery native, Perry C. Roquemore Jr. returned home in 1974 after graduating from the University of Alabama School of Law to accept the staff attorney position with the Alabama League of Municipalities. Over the course of his 37-year career with the League, Perry became an expert in municipal law as well as an effective and loyal advocate of municipal interests. His preparedness, professionalism, and genuine concern for the vitality of Alabama's cities and towns made his a voice that was highly respected by the Alabama legislature.
The legislature began its 1986 regular session a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
First time in new quarters at the new state house that they have down there. This is an election year. It's going to be an interesting session from all aspects. The money problem is bad for the state as it is for the cities and counties, as we've been talking about the problems on the national level.
My job also was to write the legislative bulletin every week after the session, what happened in the legislature this week. I have been doing that, and every one of them I've written for 37 years. The legislative report, I still today, although I don't go down to the Capitol doing the day-to-day lobbying like I did at that for many years. Since I became director, a lot of that I go on certain occasions for certain reasons, but as far as the reading of the bills, the tracking the bills, the writing of the legislative bulletin, and all of that, the information goes out to our members, I've done that for the entire thing. That is a constant that is there ever since I came with the League. But
when Perry was named executive director in 1986 following the retirement of John Watkins, Alabama's municipalities were faced with unreasonable and unfunded state and federal mandates, requiring ever more from cities and towns without providing any revenue to pay for the added duties and services. In 1988, the League of Municipalities successfully promoted a constitutional amendment that restricted the Alabama legislature's authority to force unfunded mandates onto municipalities.
One of the reasons we feel like that this money belongs to all the people of the state of Alabama and should be shared with all of the citizens. We've got 2.3 million urban citizens in the state that avail themselves of city services, plus a number of other citizens that that are non-urban but come into the municipality to use the services of the municipality. Our municipalities provide approximately 70% of the law enforcement of the state. Most of the organized fire departments are municipal departments.
Local governments faced further complications in the 1980s, a time when obtaining liability insurance proved elusive. To resolve the problem, Perry worked closely with League leaders to develop the Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation in 1989. To this day, AMIC provides competitively priced coverage to many of the League's member municipalities, and the revenue generated by AMIC has helped fund expansion of the League's member services.
so AMIC has grown. Both of our insurance programs provide insurance to the vast majority of all of our municipalities. So it's a good thing to have it there. Both of them, by the way, give money back to the municipalities. If they make money in a given year, those with good loss records and so forth get a share of the profits back to those cities. So it's been a tremendous win-win for all of those municipalities that have been involved and for the League itself.
In the early 1990s, upon Perry's advice, the League's board of directors voted to triple the size of its headquarters building from 7,500 square feet to 22,000. The building expansion was completed in 1992, allowing for much-needed additional office space that could accommodate updated technology. By 2010, the staff, which was less than 10 when Perry was hired in 1974, had increased to nearly 60, and the League's headquarters were further renovated. Another way Perry aimed to save time and money for member municipalities was by helping to create more effective municipal leaders. Under his guidance, the League expanded and extended its voluntary training programs, offering not only annual windows for professional growth during League convention, but through year-round educational opportunities with curricula virtually guaranteed to improve efficiency. The League's Certified Municipal Official Training Program, which was only the second such program in the United States, was established in 1994. The response was so great that within 3 years, the League implemented Advanced Certified Municipal Official Training.
One of the goals when I became director in '86, I noticed that we had all kinds of educational programs for clerks, for administrators, for revenue officers, zoning and planning officials, but there was never much for the elected official, the mayors and the council members. The state of Georgia at their league set up a training program for elected mayors and council members. I decided that was something we needed to do, and we set up a subcommittee here at the league of officials in our organization, subcommittee of members of the executive committee, and they studied it. We did surveys. We got the members to tell whether they were interested, whether they would like it or not, and so forth. Make a long story short, we created the CMO, Certified Municipal Official Program, where if any official got credit hours, 40 credit hours, they'd be a basic certified municipal official. It was so popular after the first rounds, first 2 or 3 years, that those folks that completed the 40 wanted more, so we created an advanced program, and now we've even got a continuing program. One of the most successful programs we've ever had. Our officials love the program, they love the training.
The power of pooling resources and standing together infuses one of the League's most recent undertakings, the Alabama Municipal Funding Corporation. Founded only a few years ago, this program empowers member municipalities to obtain funding that would otherwise be beyond their grasp and can be used for virtually any municipal project.
Bottom line is, I know that when they go to somebody else, we've got a competitive price too, so that's kept the prices down. They're getting a much better deal, even if they're not doing business with us, than they would ever done without AMIC or AM Fund or the Municipal Workers' Compensation Fund. But that's what it's all about. It comes back to that main ingredient of service to our members.
In 2010, the Alabama League of Municipalities celebrated its 75th anniversary, an achievement marked by a year's worth of research by Perry and the League staff to create an official publication chronicling the League's intriguing history, a fitting tribute to the organization, its membership, and the man who has been at the helm since 1986, only the third person in the League's history to serve as its executive director.
The number one thing I'm proudest of is that I had the opportunity to be with such a wide array of people over the years. When I think back over 37 years and I think of all the mayors, all the council members, city clerks, city attorneys that I've had the pleasure of working with and working for, and I think of all the staff members, and I'm talking about some brilliant people that I've had the opportunity to touch bases with. And this is not only within our organization, but the National League of Cities and those people around the country. It's kind of humbling when you think of all the people you've been associated with and the things that you've been able to do. And believe you me, if I can learn something from somebody else, I'm going to do it and try to implement it here, because the whole idea is to keep us going, make things happen and be progressive, and that's what I've tried to do.
I've been very fortunate in my life to have known Perry Roquemore. Perry has been a great influence over my life, and more so over the years we've become great friends. With Perry's tenure with the League being 37 years and then being our executive director for the last 25, he's just done a fantastic job in everything that he's touched with the League. We've implemented a great deal of programs since I've known Perry, as indicated back in the late 80s. We also had some other milestones. We had Cynthia McCullough from Madison was our first League member to be elected as president of the NLC, which is a great honor, and Cynthia did a great job with it. I know that Perry was very proud of that accomplishment. Over the years with Perry, we've seen a lot of changes with the League. We've seen new building, we've seen additional programs. You know, with Perry's departure at this time and taking the new journey in life where he'll be retiring, he's going to be sorely missed, not only because of the great knowledge that he carries away with him, but the great friendships that he has built and cultured over the years. I know this past year, as I have traveled around the country and I've met with other elected officials from other states, I realize the reputation that we have in Alabama of the high standards that we have obtained. And the reason for that has been for Perry and his great staff. So with that, Perry, we just wish you the very best, you and Suzanne, and we hope you have a fantastic retirement.
I'm extremely proud of the legislative victories we've had. We've gotten a lot of new authority for cities. We've kept the legislature from taking away a lot of things, like the oil and gas money we were able to preserve. I'm proud of the programs, the CMO program especially. It was something that was really needed, and to see the success it's had, and that now 12 or so leagues have copied our program around the country. That is something that is very gratifying. The growth of our staff, to get the number of professionals that we put into this organization, to get the expertise that we offer. Many leagues have more staff members than we do, but I bet none of them provide the service we do with the amount of staff that we have and the quality of the service that we have. It is excellent in my opinion, and I'm not bragging on myself, but the people that work here. They do an excellent job of providing those services for the cities.
Perry, my wife Charlie and I wish you much success in your retirement. The relationship we've formed over the last 18 years or so when I was first appointed to the council has been one that I will always cherish for the rest of my life. Perry has proven himself to be well versed in municipal law, well respected league director, and it's something that we in Alabama can be proud of. Every time I've called Perry for information or something for our city, he's been right on the spot. He's gotten back with me in a timely manner, and we in Demopolis respect him mightily. Perry, we wish you well in your retirement, and Alabama, it'd be our loss that you're gone, but we wish you well, and thank you.
For nearly 4 decades, Perry Roquemore has been a champion of municipal government. His efforts in pursuing proactive legislative measures and expanding educational, financial, and quality of life opportunities for Alabama's cities and towns makes his a legacy that will long be remembered.
I see the league doing what it's always done, that's adapting to deal with the world in which they find themselves. As long as they do that, they'll be successful.